Good afternoon, everyone. This is Priyanshu Kaushik, and you're listening to Noobs Law School. In this video, we are going to talk about current affairs for CLAT 2022. I'm going to discuss about a special offer which Unacademy is providing to you. This is part 4 of the current affairs CLAT 2022 revision series. And if you have not watched other parts, then you should definitely go to the description box of this video where the link of those other past videos is provided. Let me get this video started. First of all, I would like to talk about the scheme of this video. Basically, there are going to be 10 questions and 5 questions are assigned per topic, which basically means that there are going to be 2 topics only. After the discussion of the questions, I will explain the topics in depth. Now let me come to the very first question of your video. So when is the Civil Services Day celebrated? Do you know what Civil Services Day stand for? Well, if you do, then write that down inside the comment box of this video. Your option A is 21st January, option B is 21st April, option C is 23rd April, and option D is 30th April. The correct answer is, of course, option B, which is 21st April. Now let's move on to the next question. What is the full form of UDAN scheme? So you might be aware of the UDAN scheme, which was launched by the present government in 2016, right? So what is the full form of UDAN scheme? Your option A is उड़े धरती का आम नागरिक. Your option B is उड़े देश का आम नागरिक. Your option C is उत्तर देश का आम नागरिक. And option D is उड़े देश आसानी ना नागरिक, something like that. So the correct answer is, of course, उड़े देश का आम नागरिक, that is option B. So उड़े देश का आम नागरिक. Before moving forward, I would like to introduce you to CLAT 2020 revision series, which has been introduced by Trinath Reddy himself, who is one of the topmost CLAT Unacademy educator, and he is also the owner of Noobs Law School. So he has started it from 4th June and it is still continuing. It is held every day at 7 p.m. And the very good, the greatest thing about this revision series is this, that it is completely free of cost. Yes, you do not have to pay any single rupees for this. All you have to do is to go to the link which is provided inside the description box of this video and use this code, that is THRINATH10, in order to unlock this revision series for free. Now let's move on to the next slide of this promotional part. Unacademy is also coming up with a 7-day free trial offer for CLAT exam plus subscription. This offer is only valid from 4th June to 8th June, so which basically means that you are only left with one day, that is today only. So if you want to get a 7-day free trial, yes, 7-day free trial of CLAT based exams plus subscription, completely free of cost. You do not have to pay any amount, not even a single rupee. Only thing you have to do is to use my code THRINATH10, and if you do that, you will definitely get a 7-day free trial for plus subscription of Unacademy. Do not forget to use my code, that is THRINATH10, and this offer is only valid for today only. So this is the last day. What are you waiting for? Hurry up. Now let's move back to your questions. So when was the UDAN scheme launched? Your third question is, when was the UDAN scheme launched? Well, I had already answered this question, so I think you are already aware about that. So your option A is 2012, option B is 2020, option C is 2016, and option D is 2019. The correct answer, of course, is 2016 only, that is your option C. Now let's move on to the next question. Who is the Minister of Civil Aviation? So the Ministry of Civil Aviation, who is the Minister of Civil Aviation Ministry? Your option A is Jyotiraditya M. Scindia. Your option B is Narendra Modi. Your option C is General V.K. Singh. And option D is, of course, none of the above. The correct answer is, of course, Jyotiraditya M. Scindia. You are already aware about the fact that Narendra Modi ji is the Prime Minister of this country. General V.K. Singh is also having a ministry which is going to be answered in your next question. So who is the Minister of State for Civil Aviation? Who is the Minister of State? Remember, in this question I have asked Minister of Civil Aviation, not Minister of State for Civil Aviation. The next question is Minister of State. Yes, this word state is very important. Minister of State for Civil Aviation. Your option A is Smriti Jubin Irani. Option B is Meenakshi Lekhi. Your option C is General who is retired V.K. Singh. Again, the option which was there in the old slide. And your option D is SP Singh Baghel. The correct answer is of course General VK Singh. So General VK Singh is your Minister of State for Civil Aviation and Jyotiraditya Scindia is your Minister for Civil Aviation. Now let's talk about the news. So PM Award for Excellence in Public Administration. It was constituted in the year of 2006 by the Government of India to acknowledge, recognize and reward the extraordinary and innovative work done by districts and organizations of the central and state governments. This award consists of a trophy. A trophy is rewarded, a scroll, and an incentive of 10 lakh rupees to the awarded district or organization. The scheme has been revamped with a new approach in 2021, which is the current Modi government, with the objective to encourage constructive competition, innovation, replication, and institutionalization of best practices. Now let's talk in brief about the UDAN scheme itself. So it was launched as a RCS under the Ministry of Civil Aviation in 2016, right? So focused on a regional aviation market and providing economically viable profit air travel. This was the main focus of this UDAN scheme, which is providing economically viable and profitable air travel to the basically to the consumers who belong to the middle class. This scheme envisages providing connectivity to unserved and underserved airports of the country through the revival of existing airstrips and airports. The scheme is operational for a period of 10 years. So this might come as a question to in your exams, that for how much period of time UDAN scheme is operational. So it is a period of 10 years. Financial incentives from the central, state governments and airport operators are extended to selected airlines. So financial incentives are also extended to selected airlines to encourage operations from unserved and underserved airports to keep airfares and affordable. So unserved and underserved airports are those airports where the people the number of flights are very low, or the people who are going on a daily basis is very low as compared to other airports. Now let's move on to the achievements of UDAN scheme. It has been regarded as connecting northeast. So till date 387 routes and 60 airports have been operationalized, out of which 100 routes are awarded to the northeast alone. This is a very significant achievement, 100 routes to the northeast alone. It has also led to economic growth. How? UDAN scheme has a positive impact on the economy of the country and has witnessed an excellent response from industry stakeholders, especially airline operators and state governments. So both are happy. It has balanced regional growth. More than 350 new city pairs are now scheduled to be connected under this scheme, and with already 200 connected and are widely spread geographically, providing connectivity across the length and breadth of the country, as well as ensuring balanced regional growth, which is going to of course result in an economic growth and employment to the local population where those airports are located. Now let's move on to the next topic. Here comes your first question of the next topic. So according to Reserve Bank of India, what is the India's retail inflation rate? Your option A is 5.7, your option B is 5.5, your option C is 6.01. It's 01. I'm sorry for this typing mistake. And your option D is 6.5. So the correct answer of course here is option C, which is 6.01. Now let's move on to the next question. On which date India became a member of IMF? What is IMF? IMF is International Monetary Fund. Yes, IMF is International Monetary Fund, which was started in the year of 1945. It is one of the Bretton Woods sister organizations. So when did India became part of IMF? Your option A is December 29, 1945. Option B is December 27, 1945. Option C is December 24, 1944. Your option D is December 25, 1945. So the correct answer here is option B, which is December 27, 1945. So on December 27th December 1945, India became a member of International Monetary Fund. Let's move on to the next question. How many times IMF, that is International Monetary Fund, publishes the WEO? What is WEO? World Economic Outlook Report. So WEO is World Economic Outlook Report. So how many times does IMF, that is International Monetary Fund, publishes the WEO report in a year? So your option A is thrice every year, that is 3 times in a year. Option B is once every year, that is only one time in a year. Option C is twice every year, that is 2 times in a year. And option D is once every month, which will be 12 times in a year. So 12 times in a year. So what is the correct answer? The correct answer is of course C, which is twice every year. So IMF releases the World Economic Outlook report on a 6 month basis. So every 6 months there is a new report. Now let's move on to the next question. Who are the Bretton Woods sisters, or which two organizations are called Bretton Woods sisters? Option A is World Bank and IMF. Option B is United Nations and World Bank. Option C is FATF and United Nations. Option D is FATF. What is the full form of FATF? FATF is Financial Action Task Force, which is headquartered in Paris, which is in France, and it was started in the year of 1989. 1989. And IMF. So what is the correct answer? The correct answer is of course A, which is World Bank and IMF. So if you do not know about Bretton Woods conference, then I'm going to talk about that in this video also. Let's move on to the next question. Who is the current managing director, that is MD of IMF? I'm sorry for not typing IMF. Who is the current managing director of IMF? So who is it? Your option A says Kristalina Georgieva. Option B is Pierre Oliver Gourinchas. Maybe I'm wrong with the pronunciation part. Your option C is Camille Gutt. And your option D is Geeta Gopinath. So what is the correct answer? The correct answer is option A, which is Kristalina Georgieva. Kristalina Georgieva is the current managing director of International Monetary Fund. Who are these other people? Pierre Oliver Gorchinas. He is the chief economist of IMF, that is International Monetary Fund. So he has the post of chief economist. What is the post of Geeta Gopinath? She is the deputy managing director. Yes, she is deputy managing director of of International Monetary Fund. Geeta Gopinath is a person of Indian origin also. Now let's move on to the news part. The news says that the latest edition of International Monetary Fund's World Economic Outlook report cut its forecast for India's gross domestic product. What is gross domestic product? It is GDP growth in financial year 2023 to 8.2%. Earlier the growth was projected at 9%, and now it has been slashed to 8.2%. India has become the fastest growing major economy in the world, almost twice faster than China, whose economy is growing at the rate of 4.4% only. Though the economy of China is much bigger than India's economy, therefore even at 4.4 growth rate, China is going to be way ahead of us. But it's a good thing for India that it is growing at a faster rate. The IMF's projection of India's retail inflation is now at 6.1%. Again, there is a mistake, so 6.01%, higher than the Reserve Bank of India's forecast of 5.7%. So the Reserve Bank of India stated that the forecast to be 5.7%, but the IMF has projected the retail inflation to be at 6.01%. Now let's move on to the global trends. The IMF has projected global growth at 3.6 in 2022, and in 2023 0.8% and 2% lower than in the January 2022 forecast, which was predicted earlier. A deceleration. What is deceleration? When we are going back, when our speed is turning backwards in global growth, dampens India's growth prospects, especially because it would lead to lower demand for Indian exports. India is more of an importer economy, and we do not export much of our stuff. And if there is going to be lower demand for the stuff which we are exporting, then it is of course going to affect our economy in a very bad manner. The downgrade largely reflects the war's direct impact on Russia and Ukraine. So the war between Russia and Ukraine, these two countries, and the global spillovers caused by it. We are all aware of the fact that Russia and Ukraine, this war has caused a lot of trouble to the whole world. The oil prices have gone, soared to very high rates. The recent lockdown in key manufacturing and trading hubs such as Shenzhen and Shanghai, both are part of China, due to the resurgence of COVID cases, would likely compound supply disruptions elsewhere in the region and the beyond of the world. Now let's talk about recommendations of the IMF. You can pause the video and read them by yourself. Going to talk about in brief about the IMF, that is International Monetary Fund. IMF was set up along with the World Bank. Remember, they are the Bretton Woods sister organizations, so both were set up at the same time, World Bank and IMF. After the Second World War, to assist in the reconstruction of war ravaged countries. So war ravaged countries, which were the war ravaged countries? It were the western countries like UK, France, Germany, etc. Headquarters in Washington DC. So it is headquartered in Washington DC, which is District of Columbia of United States of America. Its managing director is Kristalina Georgieva, and its first deputy managing director, yes, deputy managing director is Geeta Gopinath, who is a person of Indian origin. So the two organizations agreed to be set up at conference in Bretton Woods. I already told you about this one, in the US. Hence they are known as Bretton Woods twins. Twins or sisters, both are the same things. So created in 1945. Yes, it was created in the year of 1945. The IMF is governed by and accountable to 189 countries that make up its near global membership. India joined IMF on 27th December 1945. Now let's talk a little bit about Bretton Woods Conference. It was formerly known as United Nations Monetary and Financial Conference. The main objective was to regulate the international monetary and financial order after the conclusion of World War II. So it was, at the end of the World War II, the major idea was to regulate the international monetary and financial order. International Monetary Fund and World Bank are its results. Now I would like to thank you for watching this video, and if there is any mistake, then please do mention about that in the comment box of this video. If you like this video, then please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Also share it with your friends, and I would like to also tell you about the Unacademy offers which Unacademy is providing you. This offer of 7-day free trial is valid only for today only, and if you miss this chance, you are not going to get this chance again. And I would like to also tell you that the date for CLAT is fixed at 19th June, which is very very near. So what are you waiting for? You should definitely get a plus subscription right now. Thank you for watching this video, and do not forget to use my code THRINTH3NARTH10. Thank you.